All right, so, uh, well, good evening, young man. Can you tell me your name?
My name's Sam Boyd.
Okay, how old are you?
I am 11 years old.
Okay, and now are you a singleton, a twin, or a triplet?
I'm a triplet.
You're a triplet, wow. And your siblings, are they boys, girls? What's the
I
combination?
have one boy and one girl. They're my brother and sisters. They're really wonderful.
Okay,
They're like
right.
the best brothers and sisters you could ever have.
Really? Wow, awesome. So, one of the questions we want to ask you is, if you were giving advice to parents of triplets, how to raise triplets, what advice would you give?
Well, first, I would say you should be prepared and you should have a lot of food, because when triplets don't have food, they do start to whine, and I've experienced that. I was actually one of the people whining, and it hurts your ears a lot.
Okay. And if parents want their kids to, triplets, kids to listen, are there any, suggestions that you want to give to such parents?
Yeah, you can. Sometimes you have to be pretty stern to get their attention, because there's three of them, and sometimes they won't pay attention to you. And you can sometimes take stuff away that's overpowering their attention to you,
Right.
or like a game.
Like an idol?
Yeah, an idol. And so they can listen more. You have to be pretty stern sometimes.
Right.
But you should also be pretty nice.
Yeah.
And
Something that a teacher would do.
Oh, okay. Well, let me go ahead and now get to the your brother here, right?
yes, my
So,
brother.
young man, what's your name?
Jack Boyd,
Jack Boyd. And how old are you?
11.
11 too. Okay. So, what advice would you give to parents of triplets?
Well, they can never back down, or else they won't be prepared, and they have to always stand on the ground
Yeah.
and never just leave them be. You gotta sort of train them like a dog or a pet.
Really?
It's much harder.
Yeah. Do you think it's being a parent of a triplet, is that harder than being a parent of a single child, or of children that are not triplets? That have like 3 kids, but they're different ages.
I think it might be a little bit easier if you have all the same age, like a triplet.
Right.
Then many ages spread out, because then you have to deal with so much different stuff, like baby stuff, and then teenage stuff, and then all you have to worry about is one age group, like school, same homework if you're in the same class,
Right.
and all that stuff.
Right. Would you recommend that and I'm asking both of you gentlemen, would you recommend that the triplet children be separated in school, or that they stay in the same class?
According to my experience with my brother and sister, in school, I would think being together is the best, because we have the same homework. They would have the same tests to study, and it'd be way easier.
Right.
They'd have the same projects. You can all do them at one time.
Right.
And have them spread out. In one project, you have to do something else.
Right.
That's different. And it could get pretty wild when that happens. Yeah.
Okay.
It really depends how your triplets are doing in school. So you know that you could put a smarter one with another one who needs academic help, and they can sort of tutor them sometimes, and that'll help.
Right. Right. Well, I want to ask you a question as a triplet dad myself. I know one of my biggest challenges is just having enough patience, with my triplets. Any suggestions that you would give to parents about being more patient?
Yeah, you have to be pretty patient, because they can sometimes really take longer than usual getting everyone ready and set to maybe leave to go somewhere, because 2 kids might be all ready and one kid would be still in the house, and they don't have their shoes on or jacket,
Right.
depending on the weather.
Right.
So you have to have pretty good patience,
Right.
and you can't get ahead of yourself and be angry, because that can really startle the kids.
Right. Right. I mean, growing up, it was, up until now, age 11. Was this an issue for you? Parents getting angry, or you getting angry, or?
No, it wasn't too much of an issue, but you had to obey your parents when they asked you to come, or get rounded up to do something fun maybe, and that could really get you reward sometimes
Mm-hmm.
as a kid. So you really want to obey your parents.
Right. Now, in order for you to obey your parents or listen to them, does it help if your parents tell you if you do something, you'll get something good? Or you think it's better for the parents to say if you don't do it, you'll have a timeout or you won't get something? Positive reinforcement or negative reinforcement. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think negative reinforcement,
Uh-huh.
because that makes them learn, like unlike if you have positive reinforcement, it's like, oh, if I do this, I'll get this. But they're just doing it because they want to get like the item.
Right.
And if you have negative reinforcement, if you don't do this, this might happen.
Right.
They would do it for a better cause and purpose.
Right. Right. Okay.
What are you guys talking about?
We're discussing about how to, for parents of triplets to be better parents. And we thought a good way of finding out is to ask children of triplets. So, what is your name, young lady?
Nina.
Nina. Are you a triplet?
Yes.
You are. Okay. Now, what advice would you give to parents of triplets on how to be better parents?
I don't know.
Well, are there things that your parents do that you like, and things that your parents don't do that you would like for them not to do?
I like when my mommy hugs me,
Uh-huh.
but when she yells on me, I don't want her to do that.
I see. Okay. Right. I forgot to ask you, how old are you?
6
6. And you're a triplet, and you have brothers or sisters?
sisters.
Sisters. And what's your name?
Nina,
And what's your last name?
Baisla,
Okay. Do you go to school?
yes,
Okay. And where do you go to school?
Franklin.
Okay. Oh, Franklin. Okay. One of the questions we asked here, these two young men, is that do you think it's good for triplet kids to be in the same class or different classes?
Same class.
You think same class is better?
Maybe different classes.
Yeah, separating them you think is better?
Yeah, because you can have new friends.
Right, understand. Well, gentlemen, I want to turn back to you a little bit, and we can ask Nina some more questions. But any other suggestions you want to make to triplet parents on how to be better parents? Yes?
You could give them lots of attention, so they're always occupied and doing something,
Right,
and you could tire them out, sort of.
Yeah,
right.
it's good if you have energetic kids to really tire them out.
Uh-huh,
So they're pretty relaxed and they don't make a lot of fuss,
right,
which really does help the parents, and I've
right.
experienced that as a
Right.
kid.
I see Nina's raising her hand, so do you have a suggestion? Oh, please, tell us.
It's really funny.
To be what?
It's really funny.
It's really funny.
Oh, this thing is really funny? Okay, I thought you meant it's really good for parents to be funny, right? I think when parents are funny, they're better parents, aren't they?
Yeah.
Gentlemen, you agree? Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, that's right. I think it's better not to take things too seriously. Would you agree?
Yeah,
Right.
only in some occasions where
Because my teacher.
What is that?
Because my teacher.
Because of your teacher?
Because she's
Okay. Oh, okay. I see. I notice that you've got a cat next to you.
oh yeah,
Yeah, do you think it's good for triplets? Oh, yeah. Well, what's the cat's name?
Her name's Milagro. We call her Millie for short.
Okay.
And yeah, Milagro in Spanish stands for miracle because she was a miracle
Right.
that she survived.
Right. Oh, wow. Well, I wanted to ask you, I assume that you agree that it's good for kids, especially triplet kids, to have pets, right?
Yeah, it keeps them occupied.
Right.
And at a young age, I had pets, and the doctor said, at least I've heard from my parents, that we had 2 dogs, and that helped us getting from allergies.
Oh,
So
really?
I'm not allergic to anything.
Right. Look. Oh, you know what? There's another question that is being suggested to me. Excuse me. What is the question?
Should pets be real pets, or do you have other kind of pets that are useful or good to have? Like, stuffed animals and anything like that?
Okay,
Right.
it's pretty good to have stuffed animals, and when you play with them, it really grows the child's imagination.
Oh, it does. Right. Right.
It really helps the mind.
Right.
It's
Right.
also good to have live pets because,
It is.
yeah, it's a good responsibility to take care of them,
Right.
and yeah.
Right. How does a parent make sure that once they get the... Oh, excuse me. Yes.
I have a pet and it's a fish. And
Yes.
we are gonna get a cat.
Really? Now you want to make sure that the cat doesn't get the fish, right? That's not really good at all. But one question I wanted to ask, Nina, maybe you can also chime in here. But parents are always concerned that when they get a pet for their child, then the child will, at the beginning they want to feed and take care of him, and then afterwards they'll say, "Oh, I'm tired." They don't want to take the pet out, or they want to take care of them. I would imagine for triplets that's even a bigger challenge. Any suggestions for parents?
Yeah. Yeah, since you have triplets, it's pretty good to take turns doing one job, like to walk the dog. Like
Right.
one kid could do it, like walk the dog in the morning for 1 week.
Right.
The other kid could like walk the dog in the morning
Right.
for another week, and then another kid like every
feed the
week.
cats or do the dishes.
Yeah.
And you split the chores
Right.
or pet activity.
So
And I think it's a big advantage actually.
Right.
To
Right.
have more kids
Right.
helping out on
Right. Right.
pets.
Now your sibling is a sister, right? You're the 2 boys, and right. We haven't spoken to your sister yet, but what do you think she will say as to what you think are challenges of being a triplet, and maybe being a triplet girl with 2 brothers?
I would say getting along with the brothers. I think they don't get along too much very well, and it probably is hard
Yeah.
to not have a sister and you have 2 brothers
Yeah.
because you don't. She doesn't have someone that can play with her all the time. She's
Right.
most of the time by herself,
Uh-huh.
playing with herself, and we always have each other to play with.
Right.
So I think that's a pretty big disadvantage.
I see. Okay.
Daddy, look.
And I think they should have, if it's a girl and no boys, I think you should have more friends over, make her feel good, because she could really feel left out
Right.
and can't be too rough or anything.
Right.
She's
Right.
mostly alone besides pets, so
Right. Well, what would you suggest to brothers that have a triplet sister? 2 brothers, that have a triplet sister, and how to be better,
Brothers.
Yeah.
Try not to fight with your sister if you get in arguments. Just end it.
Right.
And don't take advantage of your sister because she's the only girl, and she's not as rough as the boys.
Right.
The boys like to play more
Right.
contact games,
Right.
and especially don't call her names. And don't do any kind of mean actions to her
Right. Right.
because that can really hurt her feelings.
Right.
yeah, I could.
Who can really hurt who's
Yeah.
who?
Okay, gentlemen, thank you very much. We really appreciate this interview. Would you say that being a triplet does that rock?
Yeah, it's
Yeah?
awesome.
Can we
awesome.
why don't we add that and just say, hey, being a triplet rocks. Can I get you
triplet
come together and just like do that together?
Being a triplet rocks.
All right. Thank you.